Jesus preached that whoever praise themselves will be humbled, and whoever humbles themselves will be praised. We can relate this to all of our 2016 season. We came into the year with high expectations, and with good reason. We had come off of a 2-year streak of elk hunting where we shot 2 bulls 2 years in a row out of the same drop camp. We had what seemed to be a very active, patternable, mature buck on our family farm in Missouri, and things appeared to be shaping up well for my public land hunting season with an absolute giant roaming one of the units. We had worked hard, trained all year preparing for the season, arguably harder than we ever had before. After putting in all this work and carefully planning for months, it's no surprise that we were confident going into this year's elk hunt. This confidence lasted all the way through the 18-hour drive out there, and was reassured once again in the very first afternoon of the hunt as a screaming bull was charging into our setup.
Shot. I didn't have time to stop him, and my bow is slow. I think he just kept walking. I think there's a huge artery in there. I think he might have just been running down the hill though. Hey, he stopped over there. He's freaking huge.
As soon as I released the shot through the opening at 40 yards, I knew I had made a mistake. I put the pin right in the crease of the shoulder and followed through as he walked into the clearing. This would have led to a dead elk in less than 10 seconds if he would have just stopped walking instead of leaping forward at the shot. In hindsight, it's easy to see how this shot could have worked, or that I shouldn't have taken it at all, but after holding at full draw for nearly a minute and adrenaline sky high, I guess my decision-making skills were a little impaired. Even so, that didn't comfort me through the sleepless night after we began tracking the bull and ultimately deciding to continue in the morning. The next morning, we were up early and got back on the trail. Past the first 100 yards or so, the blood was basically needle-point sized drops as he barreled down the mountain, so we relied mainly on distinct hoof prints and general line of sight. We finally got to the bottom of the drainage to where he crossed the creek, and were excited because we knew he could cover the half mile down the side of the drainage in mere seconds, but were hoping he would slow down and drop more blood on the other side. Our excitement quickly faded to disappointment after completely losing the trail 150 yards up the other side. We spent the rest of the day grid searching the other side with no luck. By the end of the trip, we had covered what seemed like the whole side of that mountain with no sign of where the bull went. Losing an animal has to be one of the worst feelings in the world. You are full of regret, just begging to do the shot over and over again, or to not take it at all. If you bow hunt long enough, this feeling will most likely be set upon you at some point, and it doesn't soon go away. We spent the rest of the week-long hunt hiking. We did far more hiking than hunting, as the numbers just didn't seem to be there this year. It was weird. Not a lot of elk were in the area, but the ones that were there were big, smart public land bulls. We got on several other big bulls, even closing to 15 yards on a giant, still with no shot. It seemed we were all a little gun-shy after my poor shot, and didn't want to risk wounding another bull. With time winding down in the week, so did our effort to film the hunt, and with it the high confidence we brought. To say we were humbled by this hunt is an understatement. It was a tough pill to swallow at the time, but as always, great lessons were learned and we had a blast as a family.
Alright, I'm gonna sound really sophisticated here. Alright. It's like okay, it's like 10 o'clock right now. Other than that, I don't know anything else.
So, other than that, we're going to check out from
We're gonna need to hold on.
elk camp. Snowy, cold elk camp.
Defeated.
Yep. Mountain one this year.
So now we come home and get into the 2016 deer season. We achieved our management and freezer goals in Missouri, harvesting 3 mature does on camera. We found out towards the middle of the season that a neighboring hunter had harvested the mature 10-point we were after. With no other mature bucks roaming the farm, the rest of the season was fairly slow. I at first had low expectations for the Iowa public land deer season. The giant buck I had on camera consistently throughout the summer boosted that confidence, but as the season got closer, more and more stands showed up in the area and my camera grew legs and walked off. The stand I placed specifically for this buck also vanished after only a couple weeks, so with no stands and no info on this buck anymore, I decided to start going at it from the ground and harvest the first nice buck that tripped my trigger. On the afternoon of Halloween, I zoomed out to the public land unit for a short hunt after school. The wind was only good for a spot on the side of the creek that I hadn't spent much time in. Upon running into another hunter about halfway into where I wanted to set up, I learned that he had just wounded a buck about an hour before and it ran onto the neighboring private ground. He thought he had made a bad shot and had already given up looking for it, despite me offering to help him. This made me sick, but with nothing else to do, I settled in front of a brush pile and prepared myself to be humbled.
I don't have quite as good of a feeling about this sit as I did before I came out, and it's mainly just because I saw that other hunter, but I keep reminding myself that it doesn't really matter. He's not going to affect the wind much at all, because it's a southwest wind, so he shouldn't be hurting anything there. And I keep reminding myself that this should be a good spot for bucks to cruise, and it's Halloween, so because there's a major scrape line going like this, and then a scrape line going like this, and there's that major bedding area that is upwind of this trail, Go down. Oh my god, that was a huge buck. I hope he's dead. I hope I got him. I hope I got him. Please make that a good shot. Oh, Lord. Thank you for the opportunity. That is the biggest buck I've ever shot at. And I didn't hear him go up. He might be laying right over there. I saw something moving over there, and I thought it was just a freaking twig swaying. I didn't range it. I hope it was only 20 yards. If it was 20 yards, it's a dead deer. I gotta give him some time. If he's down right over there.
After giving thanks for the opportunity, I called friends and family telling of the exciting news. I waited 45 minutes before even moving from my chair, and then walked the blood trail just far enough to know I had made a perfect shot. I went to the parking lot and brought in a couple friends, for I knew this was just the beginning of a long night well spent. I remember following the blood trail for only a short distance, and then somehow knowing that he laid right ahead. I brought my light up, and my eyes didn't seem to focus, yet I exclaimed to my buddies that I had found him. Walking just a few more yards, it sure enough was him. I started following the blood trail, and then went and got my buddies and came back down here, and we started following the blood trail. Easy blood trail to follow, and we come up on him. So show him, Jack. This deer is a hog. Look at this buck, dude. This buck is awesome. It's gonna be hard to appreciate the body size without being here, but it is by far the biggest body deer I've ever seen. He's huge. Oh, what a good night. This buck is awesome. That's sweet. Oh, what a giant. Public land Iowa giant. Halloween night. Oh, sweet. I didn't have a good feeling about that hunt when I got set up, but this hunt taught me once again the lesson that was repeating itself all year. Those who praise themselves will be humbled, and those who humble themselves will be praised.